Good evening, everybody. My name is Pete Dunkel, and I'm a member of the 2019 cohort. On behalf of the Sidney A. Rabeau President's Leadership Academy, we would like to welcome you to the 24th Annual PLA Awards Banquet and Senior Colloquium. It is an honor to be with you this evening, and we want to thank you for traveling and taking the time to celebrate the achievements of our scholars and recognize the service we have conducted on campus and within the greater community. Each year, the PLA takes this opportunity to recognize the hard work and dedication of its scholars and its supporters. It is a time for us to celebrate and share our successes and thank those who have made them possible. It is also a time to recognize and say goodbye to our seniors, the 2018 cohort, as they transition to their next great adventure. As you may know, in 1997, President Rabeau had a vision for the university and its students. He saw an opportunity for BGSU students to lead in the university and their respective communities. He set about defining the values and curriculum of the program, and in the fall of 1998, the first cohort of 14 scholars began their journey of leadership development and personal growth with the aims to demonstrate exceptional leadership and service in the university community. Each year, the PLA legacy continues to grow. This growth can be seen in each and every PLA scholar and the 427 PLA alumni. Their continued commitment to their academics, serving the BGSU community, and to each other is truly astounding. This past fall, we welcomed our 24th cohort into the family. Tonight, we are marking and celebrating our 24th academic year of building scholars who embody credibility, learning, integrity, and service. We begin this evening's program by recognizing those people who are a constant source of support for the PLA. We are honored to have so many university and community friends with us here tonight. We would like to thank them for being here with us this evening and for their continued dedication to PLA students and BGSU. I would ask for these special guests to please stand or indicate yourself in some way and continue that indication until everyone is recognized. Please hold your applause until everyone is announced. Dr. Rodney Rogers, President of Bowling Green State University. Dr. Sandy Earle, University Advocate. Chancellor Randy Gardner, Chancellor of the Ohio Department of Education. And Jennifer McCary, Chief Diversity and Belonging Officer. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Rodney Rogers, the 12th President of BGSU and BGSU alumnus, to the stage to provide remarks.
Good evening. It is wonderful to be here. It is wonderful to be here together. I think the last time we had this event with everyone in the room in this manner was 2019. So let me do the math. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. It has been 3 years. It's wonderful to be together. I do want to, as is protocol, to make sure that I acknowledge I have one of my bosses in the room, and Esty Miller, our graduate student trustee. So Esty, would you, and another boss is Chancellor Randy Gardner. He's already been introduced. And my most important boss, my wife, Sandy Earle. So we're all here together. 427 PLA students or graduates since the beginning of this program, and this fall will be the 25th cohort. It is an amazing legacy that the 9th president of BGSU, Sidney Rabeau, had established. And all of these sorts of things, though, are the work of many people coming together. Certainly Bob and Ellen Thompson and Peggy Hollingsworth and Charles Smith. And you think of the, certainly of the directors, before Jacob, and that established this program, and certainly the leadership of Jacob and his staff. But to each of our students, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being leaders on campus. If the COVID hasn't taught us anything, it is the importance here at BG. It's important that we think of BG and the importance of being grateful. That G to me is about gratefulness. We're grateful that we are here together, grateful that we're part of a university that has a program like this, I believe, but we are grateful that we have such terrific students and their families that are here, and we have some faculty and staff here as well. But I also want to thank our dining staff. So would you give them a round of applause, because we're thankful for them. Thank you. We know we have some graduating seniors, don't we, in a couple of weeks? Yeah? Does it feel pretty good? Could you imagine, you go back 4 years that you were at this event, thinking you were in that first cohort or the new cohort coming in, and here you are 4 years later, persevering through COVID, a pandemic, and as we continue to work our way through that, I honestly believe you are more prepared than any class ever because of what you have overcome. So we are just so proud of you. We're so excited. I'm excited to see the presentation later tonight from your cohort. We also have the other cohorts that are here today, and to each of you, we are so pleased that you continue to be actively engaged and a member of this program. You know, when Dr. Rabeau and I had the opportunity to be here at the university when Dr. Rabeau was the president, and I always really appreciated his vision of ensuring that we had the kind of learning community where each individual was respected, where each individual, we were given opportunities to excel and pursue excellence, where each individual, we had a chance to learn from each other. And I think the PLA certainly exemplifies that kind of a learning community. We are a better university because of the students in the PLA, because of the graduates of the PLA, because of the families of the PLA, because of the faculty and staff that lead the PLA. So we are most appreciative, most grateful to each and every one of you. I look forward to congratulating the various recipients of awards this evening, but I want you to know that each one of you are highly valued members of this community. And our seniors, we are counting on you to go out and make a big difference in the world. Go out and lead. Go out and lead in your career, in your communities, and your family. The students that are going to be with us for another year, 2 or 3, we want you to lead right here on this campus. And you're doing it already, but we need you to continue to buckle down and take that leadership role as we work our way through a post-pandemic world. So to each of you, again, congratulations. It's an honor to be with you this evening. Do you say I Ziggy Zumba at the PLA event? I think I can, right? Yeah, I Ziggy Zumba.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers. And thank you for your continued leadership at BGSU and your support of the PLA. At the beginning of each spring, the PLA staff asks us to reflect on the impact of our fellow scholars have had on us and the community and nominate them for several awards. We will begin tonight by introducing PLA scholars and presenting this year's recipients of cohort awards. Danielle will get us started.
Good evening. My name is Danielle Kane, and I am a member of the 2021 cohort, and today I have the honor of introducing you to the 2021 cohort. I would like to share a quote with you all. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. The 2021 cohort came into the school year with our best foot forward. We were scared, but we are making it through our first year. We kicked off the school year planning our service project for the Kids Count 2 foster care agency. As a cohort, we fundraised over $1,000 for this service project, and all these funds went directly to the foster care agency. If I had one word to describe our cohort, it would be ambitious. Many scholars within my cohort have joined organizations, created organizations, sit on exec boards, and so much more. The scholars in the 2021 cohort will continue to do bigger and better things here at Bowling Green State University and beyond. Whatever each of us decide to do here at BGSU, we will do it with pride, ambition, and a goal to serve the community. Now I ask that each scholar stand when your name is called and remain standing until our entire cohort has been called. Also, guests, please hold your applause until the last member of our cohort has been announced. Thank you. First up is Jackson Baker, Crystal Dawson, Catherine Haynes, Jacob Ireland, Carly Kubek, Caleb Lorenzen, Emily Manuel, Joshua Martin Hayden, Amariana McKinnon, Nasir Pullen, Darian Roscoe, Roderick Sparks, Micah Williams, Trey Williams, and Elena Unelli. And that's the 2021 cohort. At this time, I would like to invite Maya Davison and our cohort advisor, Dominic Gattozzi, to the stage to help present the award.
Good evening. My name is Maya Davidson, and I'm a member of the 2020 cohort. I have the honor of standing before you tonight to announce the recipient of the 2021 Cohort Award. The 2021 Cohort Award recipient was described by their nominators as someone who has embodied the values of the PLA through their words and actions. This scholar embodies what it means to be a servant leader and exhibits a strong commitment to fostering a sense of belonging within their cohort. According to one nominator, one of their defining characteristics is the care and concern that they show for their fellow scholars and community members. Ever since they stepped foot on campus for the first time, they have gone out of their way to have conversations with everyone they meet. They show such compassion and friendliness to all people. When people are in need, they step in. Please join me in congratulating the 2021 Cohort Award recipient, Jackson Baker. Congratulations, Jackson. I now also have the distinct honor of introducing the 2020 cohort. The 2020 cohort is very unique. We came during a weird time in the world, things were changing and were slanted, basically oblique. Although our cohort may not have had the same experiences as the others, we view this difference in a positive way because it created new paths for our cohort to discover. From Greek life, resident advising, rugby, leadership within the Arts Village, and more, the 2020 cohort has done an impeccable job at being involved in our college and community as we individually soar. We have grown tremendously as a cohort as we conclude our first 2 years. I love how our cohort views each other as family and not only as peers. We have completed 2 service projects grounded in service, advocacy, and public good. Although we faced many challenges, the assignment was always understood. Our cohort values unity, adaptability, humility, impact, and respect. We use all of these values to remain committed, congruent, and conscious of ourselves, which requires us to self-reflect. Our continued growth is what drives us to our future success. We are the 2020 cohort. We always get the job done, so there's no need to stress. It is now my honor to introduce to you the 2020 cohort. We ask that each scholar stand when your name is called and remain standing until our entire cohort has been called. Guests, please hold your applause until the last member of the cohort has been announced. Gay Beaver. Chanel Calmise. Shard Cargill. Cedric Dortch. Oscar Dunkel. Becca Lutfring. Amaya Quaker. Taryn Sherman. Becca Silver. Parker Smith. Olivia Thornton. Rachel Verveal. Gabe Wagner. And Artise Watson. For the 2020 cohort, our cohort advisors, Wong Do and Kendra Lutz, will help present the award alongside 2019 cohort member Pete Dunkel.
The 2020 Cohort Award recipient was described by their nominator as someone who has demonstrated a stellar example of what it means to be a servant leader. This scholar exhibits a strong commitment of care to both the individual and the BGSU community. According to one nominator, the scholar is always a very supportive cohort member and shows credibility through their service. They show integrity through their authenticity and thoroughness in their studies and work with others. Undoubtedly, this scholar is highly respected amongst their peers for being a voice to listen to and having a significant impact on PLA through their efforts as a recruitment intern. The 2020 Cohort Award recipient is Maya Davidson. Congratulations, Maya. Well deserved. I now have the honor of introducing the amazing 2019 cohort. When I think of my cohort, I think of great memories, inside jokes, and phrases that come to mind. But one word that has never been lost on me when it comes to describing my cohort and what makes it special is the word influence. You see, our cohort has a large number of strong personalities, which has created a very diverse experience, despite our relatively smaller size compared to more recent cohorts. Throughout our experience, our largest challenges and our largest triumphs have dealt with putting those personalities into play and demanding the most out of each other. As a collective, we've been able to put together 2 successful projects benefiting patrons of the Gleaners Community Food Bank in the great city of Detroit, Michigan, and donating COVID bags to BGSU employees in need. As individuals, we have all led and are currently leading across BGSU's broad domain of student organizations. From members founding faith groups on campus like Delight, to taking charge to eradicating hazing in our community's Greek life system in not only 1, but 2 councils, in the Interfraternity Council and the National Panhellenic Council, promoting the goodwill of community service and organizations like Alpha Phi Omega, Rally Cap Sports, and the Special Olympics, assisting in the academic development of BGSU through being college ambassadors, or helping students develop their passion through events put on by Club Fencing, University Activities Organization, University Dance Alliance, and Anime in Northwest Ohio, our cohort members do not shy away at the chance to make our campus a better place. As we close out our 3rd year on this campus, I just want to say how proud I am to be a member of this cohort and how honored I am to introduce my amazing friends to you all here tonight. We ask that each scholar stands when your name is called and remains standing until our entire cohort has been called. Guests, please hold your applause until the last member of this cohort has been announced. Mason Davis, Camille Harris, Drea Hendricks, Andrew Hogel, Parker Knurr, Jenna Cole, Abby Liddy, Malcolm Massey, Yaron Mercer, Jackie Moon, Maddie Mostaller, Lex Osborne, and Kirsten Stuckey, the amazing 2019 cohort. Our 2019 cohort advisor, Kendra Lutz, will help present the award alongside 2021 cohort member Danielle Kane.
The 2019 Cohort Award winner was described as intensely devoted both to BGSU and their cohort. This recipient carries themselves with a humble attitude and positive outlook within their numerous leadership roles on campus and within the PLA. They are a scholar who will always go the extra mile to serve others. One nominator shared that this scholar is someone who has always been one to sacrifice their need for for the sake of others, and who use their voice to fight for others no matter the situation. Please join me in congratulating the 2019 Cohort Award recipient, Pete Dunkel. At this time, I invite the catering staff to dismiss us by table for dinner.
If you could join me in recognizing and thanking our catering staff for their service this evening. As we are all gathered here tonight, the PLA would like to take a moment and thank all the friends and family who have come alongside of us on our leadership journey. Without the support of all of you, our success would not be possible. Without you encouraging and consistently believing in us, we might not be where we are today. Scholars, let all of us take a moment and thank our family and friends who have traveled to be here tonight. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Clemens to the stage.
Good evening. My name is Jacob Clemens. I serve as the Senior Director of the Sidney A. Rabeau President's Leadership Academy and the Cohort Advisor to the 2018 cohort. I had the honor of presenting the Senior Cohort Award this year, and this year's Cohort Award winner was described as someone who is always willing to step up and help when needed, despite what's going on in their life and their obligations. They are patient and thoughtful in how they interact with each member of the PLA, and someone who has made a big impact on our program through their unwavering positivity. One nominator stated in reference to the PLA retreat that they took on additional responsibilities to ensure that the PLA retreat was meaningful and a great experience for not just their cohort, but for all of the other scholars in the program. This individual leads with integrity, and they're always willing to help whenever they can. Please join me in congratulating this year's 2018 Cohort Award winner, Hannah Hess.
In 2019, Chancellor of the Ohio Department of Higher Education, Randy Gardner, was awarded the Friend of the PLA Award. a person who demonstrated his commitment to the scholars and to BGSU, all while serving as a role model for servant leadership within the public office. In 2020, Chancellor Gardner established an award to recognize a PLA scholar who is dedicating their future to public service. Previous to assuming his role as Chancellor, Chancellor Gardner worked with the PLA as a PLA seminar coordinator. In his role, he mentored countless PLA scholars and helped them secure internships and future opportunities. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Rogers on stage to help introduce Chancellor Gardner.
Thank you. It is certainly my honor to introduce to you the Chancellor of the Ohio Department of Higher Education, Randy Gardner. Chancellor Gardner is the 10th Chancellor of the Ohio Department of Higher Ed. That job oversees 14 public four-year institutions, 74 private universities, 23 community colleges, and 52 Ohio technical centers. Here's what you need to know about Chancellor Gardner. He has a tie that matches the color of every one of those institutions. So I may have a lot of orange ties. Chancellor Gardner has hundreds of all types of colors and ties. And so we greatly appreciate that when the Chancellor's on the various campuses and right here on Bowling Green, when he is on the Bowling Green campus, he always wears orange. And we so appreciate that. I also just want to note that Chancellor Gardner, prior to becoming our Chancellor, was various leadership positions in state government. Concluded his career in state government as a state senator from our district right here. And he chaired the higher ed committees, both in the House and the Senate, over his careers when he was in the House and then at the Senate. And I'm going to embarrass him to say that. Recently, I was in Columbus at a luncheon and was speaking with someone who has been associated with state government here in Ohio for many, many, many years. And Randy's name came up, and they said, the best chancellor of higher ed, perhaps, that Ohio's ever had. Ladies and gentlemen, Ohio's Chancellor of Higher Ed, Randy Gardner.
Thank you so much, President Rogers. I just asked him if my mom was in Columbus, extolling my virtues. Who else could it be? I don't know. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Clemens, for allowing me a minute or two to say hello this evening. It's just a great honor to be a BGSU Falcon, twice an alum here of this great institution, and also someone who had the real privilege and honor and gained so much from being associated with and working with the PLA for 11 years before I, by law, was required to not do that anymore when I became Chancellor 3 years ago in Mike DeWine's cabinet. I jotted a couple notes down in orange and brown Sharpie, by the way, trying to show up the president just a little bit. But I want to just say thanks publicly to President Rogers for his leadership at this institution. I hear all the time from others who interchange with his style of leadership and with his advocacy for higher education in Columbus, how much they appreciate his leadership. And that's good for higher ed. It's good for students in this state to have advocates that are well respected around the state. So thank you to that. And to Dr. Clemens, I say this every year, but he inherited, when he came into this position, to basically oversee and lead the President's Leadership Academy. It was a very good program then, a high-quality program then. That's not always easy. But I know that under his leadership and with the additional staff and obviously the quality of the scholars, it has actually been enhanced and gotten stronger. That's a real tribute to the leadership of Dr. Jacob Clemens. I want to thank you. So really, the bottom line for me is that being able to serve the PLA made me a stronger state senator back in the day, and also has made me more aware of student needs as the chancellor. And so it's just important to have that background. And really what PLA embodies is that success is really defined about how well we serve others. People talk about who's successful, and they usually attribute it to how much money they make or the title of their career. You know, it's really about how well we serve others and make others better and make our communities, our society better. And that's really, I think, embodies what the PLA spirit is all about. Having said that, I was sitting there a few years ago and talking to Dr. Rogers casually about, you know, I've been so blessed to be a part of PLA, maybe I should give back a little bit. And within about 10 minutes, he had a contract for me to sign for a scholarship. So it took about that long. So I understand there's going to be a recipient of an award that I guess my name still has on it. That's nice of him to do that. I don't know who this person is, but I've been given a description. I don't think I've met this person yet. I've been given a description, and I just can't wait to announce. No, that's not my job, is it? I would love to, but I'm not allowed to do that. But you're all going to meet this stiller who's going to be involved in education, which is a passion of mine. I was a teacher back in the day as well, and my family's been very involved in education. I still think teaching is such an important career for our future. But it's a real honor to be here tonight to serve with you. I look forward to meeting the scholar and to celebrating with all of you this significant marquee program at BGSU. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
The winner of the Randy Gardner Award for Civic Leadership for the Public Good follows in Chancellor Gardner's footsteps by dedicating their future to a life in public service that benefits the public good. As a middle childhood education major, this recipient has not only committed to serving to others through their work as a future teacher, they have also demonstrated it through service-related involvement here on campus. They have served as the PLA service intern, where they have adapted PLA service opportunities during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are also a member of Alpha Phi Omega, a national co-ed service fraternity, serving as the organization's vice president of service. From the 2019 cohort, please join me in congratulating my friend, Maddie Mostaller.
You coming up? Come up. Thank you so much. There you go. We're going to do a photo. Great. Congratulations.
Since the inception of the PLA 24 years ago, over 427 scholars have completed the program and graduated from BGSU. These alumni have gone on to accomplish great things, carrying the values and lessons of the PLA along with them. They will always be Falcons and part of our family. 7 years ago, the PLA Alumni Society established a book to recognize the outstanding commitment and dedication of a scholar directly to the PLA. Our recipient this year was described by their nominator as someone who has given 110% to the PLA since the very first day of their PLA summer program. They ensure that they serve first and lead second. This scholar is someone who really values PLA and shows a complete commitment to PLA values and stands out as a leader in their cohort. One nominator wrote that this scholar will undoubtedly help create positive changes within the PLA and the BGSU community. They have been especially involved within their cohort and will be one of the resident mentors for this year's summer program. Please join me in congratulating from the 2021 cohort, Danielle Kane.
Johnny L. Lewis was a PLA Thompson Scholar in the 2005 cohort. While on campus, Johnny was involved in many organizations, serving as the undergraduate student government president and being a founding father of Alpha Tau Omega fraternity. Sadly, Johnny passed away in July of 2012 from lymphoma. In honor of Johnny's legacy, the Johnny L. Lewis Book Scholarship was created by a group of his friends to recognizing the outstanding commitment and dedication of a scholar to the PLA and BGSU. This year's recipient of the Johnny L. Lewis Book Scholarship continues to be a dedicated PLA scholar who serves a great deal of their time serving as a Thompson Meeting intern, an executive member of the Black Student Union serving as political action chair, and a new member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. They've been a key leader on BGSU's campus this school year, and we are excited to see them continue their leadership to the PLA and campus community. Please join me in congratulating a scholar Johnny would have been proud to know. The winner of the Johnny L. Lewis Book Scholarship from the 2020 cohort, Taryn Sherman.
The Julie Ann Snyder Legacy Award is given to a rising sophomore or junior who is committed to creating social change in their community. Through dedication and humility, the recipient is committed to ongoing personal growth and seeks out opportunity to develop as a leader. The award recipient values and embodies authenticity, integrity, loyalty, and credibility. The recipient of the Julie Ann Snyder Legacy Award was nominated by multiple people and described as someone who embodies servant leadership through their desire to serve first. They hit the ground running in their first year of PLA and at BGSU. They can continuously be seen around campus supporting their fellow Falcons, especially in their role as a student leadership assistant. According to their SLA supervisor, this person is one of the most humble and dedicated students they have had the privilege working with, and the scholar is passionate about leadership and building relationships with people around them. Their impact on Bowling Green has already been impactful, and the potential they have as a PLA scholar is endless. Please join me in congratulating from the 2020 cohort, Amaya Quaker.
Our next award is in honor of two exceptional servant leaders, Mr. Robert and Mrs. Ellen Thompson, dear friends of the university and the PLA. The Thompsons have taught us that we all have an opportunity to make a difference and to honor them. The PLA created the Robert and Ellen Thompson Servant Leadership Award. This year's recipient was nominated by several of their peers. They are described as a scholar who takes the PLA values to heart by living a life of service to others. They have taken everything the PLA has given them, grown from those experiences, and used that to propel their work into the BGSU community and going farther. They work tirelessly to provide others with opportunities to serve. They take their knowledge, share it with others, and work to provide opportunities for students to model servant leadership in the Bowling Green community and beyond. This recipient is heavily involved within the PLA, having served as a resident mentor, a peer facilitator for Lead 1000, and a forum intern. Outside of the PLA, this scholar is highly involved in Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, on the exec board of Black Student Union, and the president of National Pan-Hellenic Council. Their NPHC advisor described this individual as someone who is dedicated to serving and advancing the NPHC community through accountability and a challenge, but mostly through compassion and empowerment. Please join me in congratulating this year's Robert and Ellen Thompson Servant Leader Award winner from the 2019 cohort, Kirsten Stuckey.
Our next award is the Outstanding Student Leader Award. This is the highest award a PLA scholar can earn, and it can only be earned once in a scholar's time at PLA. The recipient was described by one nominator as someone who demonstrates their commitment to servant leadership through her leadership within the PLA and by making sure they build relationships and connections with the younger cohorts. They are truly a dedicated family member who has left a lasting impact on PLA. This person has served on the PLA selection committee, as a PLA PAL mentor, and as a Thompson meeting intern. This individual's passion for BGSU is infectious, and they continuously seek on ways to help people become more spirited and connected to the whole BGSU community. This scholar has also served in a number of leadership roles throughout campus, such as the president of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, vice president of Element Dance Team, public relations officer for Minority Association of Pre-Med students, a SMART team leader, and a Trio McNair scholar. Please join me in congratulating from the 2018 cohort, Amani Wilson.
Congratulations to all of our award winners. Very fortunate to get to work with each one of them and all of our scholars. In addition to recognizing the work of our scholars this year, I would like to recognize a group of people who, without their support, none of the success of our scholars and our department would be possible. First, I would like to recognize our PLA staff and doctoral interns who work behind the scenes, making each day possible for our students. And I cannot even begin to express my gratitude for their commitment and dedication this year. Wholeheartedly, they make me look really good, and I get to take a lot of credit for all of their work, but it is all them. I would ask each of them to stand, and if we could hold our applause until the end. Wang Do, Alyssa Fisher, Dominic Gattosi, Kendra Lutz, Amanda Anastasia Panigua. Thank you. And before I move on to the next portion, one of our doctoral interns, Dominic Gattosi, is finishing his coursework in his doctoral program and is going to move on from the PLA and seek full-time employment. So this will be his last year with PLA. This is his fourth year working with our Marvin Center. He worked on kind of the Marvin Center side, working with our peer educators his first 2 years, and then has worked with the PLA the last 2 years. And just want to say a special thank you to Dominic for all of his work in the Marvin Center and with PLA. I really cherish our friendship and appreciate all of the work you've done in the last 4 years. I would also like to give a special thank you to a couple other folks, not formally on our PLA staff, but kind of volunteer their time with the program. A special thank you to both Lakeisha Dowland and Val Irwin, who play critical roles in supporting and advocating for our PLA scholars. We would also like to thank several PLA scholars who work as interns, resident mentors, peer facilitators, who all contribute to the success of PLA. If they could please stand and be recognized and hold our applause till the end. Gabe Beaver, Chanel Calmise, Maya Davidson, Mason Davis, Oscar Dunkel, Pete Dunkel, Drea Hendricks, Parker Knurr, Becca Ludfrig, Fran Marino, Malcolm Massey, Lex Osborne, Taryn Sherman, Becca Silver, Kirsten Stuckey, Rachel Verveal, and Artis Watson. I now have the distinct honor to recognize the 2018 cohort and pay tribute to their influence on the PLA, BGSU, and the community for the past 4 years. I serve as their cohort advisor for the last 2 years, and it has truly been an honor to work with these folks as they navigate the pandemic and all the struggles and challenges that came with uncertainty throughout the last several years. They put forth the effort and energy to ensure the legacy of PLA continued through the uncertainty. For anybody in the room, they're the only cohort who's ever actually seen a banquet that was anything that looking like this. And they helped me continue kind of throughout this year, ensuring this year got back on track to ensure we hit those really PLA milestones. And so I appreciate their guidance, their support, and their leadership for the PLA this year and in the last 4 years. I'd like to invite Dr. Rogers and Kendra Lutz to the stage to help distribute our awards to our seniors. Seniors, as I call your name, please come forward to receive your award. Please remain standing up front until the last member of your cohort is recognized. Guests, please hold your applause until the last member of the cohort has assembled. Connor Baumley, a philosophy, politics, economic, and law major from Haviland, Ohio. Ryan Bisman, a supply chain management major from Lebanon, Ohio. Gary Bradley, a business administration major from Detroit, Michigan. Lauren Brown, a visual communication technology major from Detroit, Michigan. Sierra Clark, a biology major from Highland Park, Michigan. Kelly Colon, a human development and family studies major from Detroit, Michigan. Jordan Egbert, a dietetics major from Gibsonburg, Ohio. Joshua Ford, a human development and family studies major from Muncie, Indiana. Hannah Hess, a theater major from Bucyrus, Ohio. Nia Jardine, a human development and family studies major from Southfield, Michigan. Francesca Marino, a psychology major from Dublin, Ohio. Crystal Martin, a biology pre-med major from Harper Woods, Michigan. Nick Menster, an adolescent to young adult education with a specialization in integrated social studies from Granville, Ohio. Tori Pasquarette, a middle childhood education major from Perrysburg, Ohio. Kaylinda Solomon, an electronic and computer technology major from Detroit, Michigan. Jennifer Watley, a human development and family studies major from Bedford, Ohio. Amani Wilson, an applied health science pre-med major from Detroit, Michigan. And Christopher Wilson, an ethnic studies pre-law major from Detroit, Michigan. Please join me in congratulating the 2018 cohort of the Sidney A. Rabeau President's Leadership Academy. At this time, I invite the 2018 cohort to the stage to conduct their senior colloquium.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, and we thank you for coming to celebrate our cohort tonight. In July of 2018, 22 scholars began their journey to leadership at Bowling Green State University. Hand-selected on the basis of their merit, their hard work, and their passion to lead and lend a helping hand to others, they entered campus with the mindset of service and a goal to create change. These are their stories.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amani Wilson. I will be graduating with a bachelor's in applied health science. Upon graduation, I will be applying to medical school this summer, as well as working as a full-time clinical research assistant.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ryan Bisman. I will be graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a specialization in supply chain management. Upon graduation, I will be moving to Salt Lake City for a year to start my supply chain leadership development program with Parker Hannafin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher Wilson. I will be graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Ethnic Studies. Upon graduating, I will be attending The Ohio State University to receive my Master's in Public Administration.
Hello, my name is Kaylinda Solomon, and I will be graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Electronics and Computer Engineering Technology. Upon graduation, I plan to move back to my hometown, Detroit, Michigan, and pursue a full-time position in tech.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Brown. I will be graduating with a Bachelor's in Science Bachelor's of Science in Technology and Visual Communications with a specialization in print and marketing. Upon graduation, I'll be continuing my business and officiating my nonprofit organization.
Our first semester at BGSU, we all took Lead 1000, where we learned the fundamentals of being a servant leader. The book we studied for the class was titled Leadership for a Better World. The book's definition of servant leadership really resonated with our cohort. According to Leadership for a Better World, servant leadership theory begins by viewing the leader first as a servant, a person who first wants to serve others. Over our time at BGSU, our cohort believes servant leaders' values include humility, inclusivity, learning, positive change, and community. Finally, we believe the end goal of servant leadership is to be intentional in one's interactions, consistently demonstrating humility, and actively serving the community.
Our first opportunity as a cohort to put to action our new knowledge and understanding of servant leadership was our project Warm and Fuzzy. The service project we came together to plan and execute our first semester of freshman year. We began to demonstrate the aforementioned values of community, humility, inclusivity, learning, and creating positive change before we even recognized it. For weeks, we made sacrifices in our increasingly busy schedules to create positive change in our community. It took humility as we attempted to reach consensus in a practical way for the first time. As we planned this project, one thing that we wanted to keep in mind was to be inclusive of each other's ideas and suggestions. In doing this, we learned a lot about ourselves and how our experiences impact the way we see the world around us. In all of this, what we decided on was a collection drive where we would encourage our peers, our professors, and colleagues to donate non-perishable items, pajamas, and bedtime comforts to families in need. We chose to collaborate with Toledo Food Bank to distribute these items to their partners. And we also got the opportunity to volunteer with them directly at their food bank, packing non-perishable boxes.
This experience, Project Warm and Fuzzy, taught us how to work together despite our differences and conflicts that we face. The lesson learned from our conflicts were passion will unite us, how to effectively incorporate cohort ideas, and even at this young and prominent age in our lives, we are capable of positive change. This experience was the birth of our servant leadership. It gave us the foundation to build upon within the President Leadership Academy, as well as the other organizations that we serve.
The 2018 cohort put on a workshop addressing the underaddressed issues that people with disabilities have by raising awareness and providing resources to students, faculty, and staff. We collaborated with a student organization called DREAM and Accessibility Services to put on this event. DREAM helps to educate students and spread awareness of students with disabilities, and they also help to mentor students in the community. We had a keynote speaker come and talk about their experiences, as well as several smaller events throughout the day, including service animal demonstrations, a panel with members from DREAM, and a Jeopardy game.
This project showed us how indirect service could be a tool used to promote the public good by bringing awareness to the common isms that people with by showing us how indirect service could be a tool used to promote the common good by bringing awareness to people with individual. I'm gonna take my time, Pastor. Give me time. This project showed us how indirect service can be a tool used to promote the common good by bringing awareness to the common isms that individuals with disabilities experience and navigate on a daily basis. It also taught us how important it is to talk to the stakeholders in a situation before speaking on their behalf. Now, Jennifer Watley will come up and talk about the public good.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Watley, In December, I graduated with my Bachelor of Science in Human Development and Family Studies. In August, I plan to go to The Ohio State University to pursue my Master of Arts in Higher Education and Student Affairs.
Hello, I am Connor Baumley. In a few weeks, I will be graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy, Politics, Economics, and Law. This coming fall, I plan on going to law school at the University of Pittsburgh.
My name is Joshua Ford, and I am currently a Human Development and Family Studies major. Upon graduation, I intend to go to Ball State University, where I will continue my education studying higher education and student affairs with an assistantship in the Office of Student Conduct.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sierra Clark, and I'll be graduating with a Bachelor's of Science in Biology. And my plans upon graduation will be attending Hondro's Accelerated Nursing Program, become an RN by summer 2023. Thank you.
You may have heard one of BGSU's famous slogans, a public university for the public good. Our cohort plans to take the good we've done here on the university's campus, which you'll hear more about from my cohort members, and continue it within the public moving forward. Each and every one of us have our own individual plans that we've developed, even while moving as a collective. The knowledge that we've gained as a group will follow us on our individual paths and endeavors when we leave the university. The skills and values bestowed upon us during our educational experiences are vital to the good of the public. The public needs integrity, which we all practice individually and together, holding each other accountable when necessary. The public needs service, which we practice when communicating with local organizations in the community. And the public needs empathy, which we practice on a daily basis here at BGSU's campus and will continue to do moving forward. Both together and apart, we will do good for the public.
We embodied being at a public university through our communities here on campus. So when we came to BG, our community was the members here that in PLA that allowed us to kind of get an introduction to what BGSU is. And through those 4 years at BGSU, we've kind of split off into our own communities and built those up through our on-campus opportunities in clubs, both leading clubs or joining student organizations, as well as off-campus through our internships and our jobs that we've all had. And so as we go forward in the rest of our lives and go our own separate ways, we plan on taking the aspect of focusing on being a member of the public through our individual lives.
Part of our foundation and service is gaining an adequate understanding of the community that we are serving. In order to gain a proper understanding, we have found as a cohort that it is first important to understand the importance of diversity. Finding ways to integrate our diverse perspectives into ideas into our acts of service. Our diverse backgrounds have allowed us as a cohort to better serve the various communities that we've partnered with throughout our 4 years. Having an understanding of the importance of diversity, we have used every experience, all of our knowledge, various knowledges to pinpoint the needs of the specific community. It is important that we accurately assess the needs of the community so that we do not provide services that we are assumed to be needed, but that are actually needed by the area. We have learned that to properly assess the needs of community is actually an act of equity. Equity does not require that one pay attention to the needs of the people. However, equity, as defined by us as a cohort, says that we are giving the correct service that is needed.
Okay. We implement the values of diversity and equity through our collaboration and community involvement. During our time here at BGSU, we have been afforded several opportunities to collaborate with organizations in the communities of both BGSU and Northwest Ohio, whether it was service projects that we created as a cohort or pre-existing service projects. We have found value in collaborating with other organizations as well as our own cohort. The next group will take a deeper look into the values of our cohort. Thank you.
Hello all, my name is Nick Menster, and at the end of this month I will be graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Adolescent to Young Adult Education with a specialization in Integrated Social Studies and a minor in Political Science. That's a mouthful, I apologize. Upon graduation, I will be taking a gap year to through hike the Appalachian Trail before pursuing a full-time opportunity teaching social studies.
Hello all, my name is Kelly Colon, and I will be graduating with a Bachelor's of Science in Human Development and Family Studies with a minor in Child Development. Upon graduation, I will be moving back home for my gap year to Detroit, Michigan to work as an ABA technician, which serves as a counselor for people with autism and their families in both home and office therapy sessions. After a year, I will be getting my master's in either social work or mental health counseling.
Hello, my name is Gary Bradley, and I will be graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration specialized in marketing. And upon graduation, I will begin looking for internships with different marketing firms outside of the city.
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah Hess, and I will be graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Communications in Theater with specializations in acting, directing, and theater for young audiences. And upon graduation, I will be moving to California to pursue opportunities in my field.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Naya Jardine, and I'll be graduating with a Bachelor's of Science in Human Development and Family Studies with a minor in Child Development. Following graduation, I will be taking a gap year before going for my master's in Applied Behavioral Analysis. Within this gap year, I will be continuing my work in the ABA field as a behavioral therapist, working with children with autism while preparing to move out of state by the end of the year.
The 2018 cohort has been fortunate to have wholeheartedly embraced the BGSU value of belonging. When we first came to campus, we were met by dozens of older scholars who were eager to take us under their wing. Under their mentorship, we were able to find our fit at BGSU and get involved in the communities that gave us purpose. As we've grown as leaders, we have been able to mentor the scholars who have since joined the PLA. And we found meaning in those mentorship relationships and have been very fortunate to get to know the scholars who will shape the future of this program.
For showing diversity within our cohort, 2 examples that come to mind will be our classic Step In, Step Out activity and our service projects based in Detroit. While doing our Step In, Step Out activity, it demonstrated our various backgrounds, like whether we grew up in a rural area or urban, social class, family status, and that is only to name a few. Despite our differences, the activity showed us how much we actually shared in common and to spark conversations in an open, safe space. Our service projects in Detroit brought different groups of people together to serve in a needed community that many of us in the PLA call home.
Another thing that we value as a cohort is excellence, and the 2018 cohort has demonstrated excellence in a multitude of ways. Taking a look at our progress over the past 4 years compared to our freshman year, we have definitely got it together compared to what it was before. We were able to figure out what things work best for us in order to get stuff done, and what processes work best for us in order to achieve the goals that we wanted to, that we set as a cohort. We have done many things on campus, from being in exec positions to starting our own orgs. Just to name a few, and you already heard earlier the president of the BGSU's Charter of Alpha Kappa Alpha. We have one person represented the school spirit as Freddie Falcon. Another person was VP of the Sensational Ladies Majorette team. And we have founded Spike Ball and another organization called Anchored. Another thing that I would also like to highlight that our cohort has done is we have had some of the highest percentage of Thompson scholars graduating this year within the PLA, and I feel like that's something to definitely recognize.
PLA has also pushed us to It's so tall. PLA has also pushed us to grow academically. From the very beginning, the staff and faculty made it very clear that this was going to be an academically rigorous program to be a part of, and it was daunting because beyond managing, academics and PLA requirements, we were also told to commit ourselves fully to the idea of servant leadership, and that's a lot to take on at 18, right? And so, but we were able to, through the help of the faculty and staff and the relationships that we built with them and with one another, to push ourselves to do better than we ever thought that we could. And it's combination of personal accountability and support that's taught us to never stop learning and to find the things that inspire and empower us and go for it.
Looking back from 2018 as freshmen to now in the year 2022 as graduating seniors, there has been a substantial amount of personal growth within this cohort. We dedicate ourselves to keeping up with each other personally and always staying aware of the accomplishments and growth that each one of us as individuals and as an overall cohort have achieved throughout our college experience. Personally, I have experienced major growth from my freshman year till now, and I would not be here today if it wasn't for the support of the PLA and its staff. A specific person that helped shape me as an individual that I would like to acknowledge is Lakeisha Dowling. As my advisor and mentor, she played a major role in my time here at BGSU and overall my success as a PLA scholar. While allowing me to express myself, whether it was in happy or not so happy times, she never let me forget that I was a part of the PLA for a reason, and I had to prove to myself before anyone else that I belonged here. So to Keish, you've seen me at my worst and my best, and always supported me through my endeavors here at BGSU, and I just want to sincerely say thank you. I am so ecstatic that I continue to grow with this cohort, and even more proud to acknowledge the 2018 Thompson Scholars and our growth as we will be graduating with a 92% graduation rate, which is one of the highest graduation rates in the PLA Thompson Scholar history. I am honored to be a part of this cohort and am so proud of the amazing achievements we have made together and as individuals throughout these 4 years. Next, I will have Tori Pasquarette come up and speak to you about our legacy.
Hi everyone, my name is Tori Pasquarette. I will be graduating with a Bachelor's of Science in Middle Childhood Education with specializations in Social Studies and English Language Arts. Sorry, that's a lot. And after graduation, I plan to move hopefully to the Columbus area and start my career as a middle school teacher.
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Crystal Martin, and I will be graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Biology on a pre-med track. Upon graduation, I will be pursuing my Master's of Public Health degree at the University of Toledo before applying to medical school.
Hi everyone, my name is Francesca Marino and I will be graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Upon graduating, I will be attending Bowling Green State University's Sociology PhD program.
Hi everyone, my name is Jordan Egbert and I will be graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Dietetics with a minor in Leadership. And this fall, I will be continuing my education to pursue a Master's of Education in Higher Education and Student Affairs at Kent State University, working with their new student orientation programming.
So today our group is up here to talk about legacy. And a big part of our legacy here at BGSU as members of the 2018 cohort all centers around collaboration. One of the amazing things about PLA is that right at the beginning they sit you down and they ask you, in 4 years, where do you want to be? What kind of impact do you want to make? And over the past 4 years we've done this. We've taken time to identify our collective values and goals and the impact that we would hope to leave at this point in our college experience. We've all experienced tremendous growth and change during the past 4 years, but our goal to leave behind a legacy of meaningful relationships with others is one that has remained constant. We've learned to collaborate as a family and have grown in our ability to support one another as we have developed meaningful interpersonal relationships with each other and with our younger cohorts. This ability to collaborate with one another has propelled us forward on a path towards the legacy we are so proud to leave today.
A key component of leaving a legacy is who you leave behind. In our years here at BGSU, our cohort has been able to lift as we climb. Not only have we been able to impact younger PLA scholars, but also other BGSU students within our student organizations. As student leaders, we have led by example and created long-lasting relationships. We know that being a mentor requires us to pour into others, but also, and maybe even more importantly, to learn everything we can from the people around us. Being a part of the PLA has taught us how to make social change and truly impact the world. I am confident that other BGSU students have learned these important lessons through the example we set on campus. From our experiences, we have truly learned that the foundation of leadership is relationships. We are glad to have made some invaluable relationships, to say the least.
A large aspect of leaving a legacy involves admitting to the learning process and allowing yourself to grow from the changes that you face. As you embrace change and learn from who you once were, you leave a mark on the places that you grow from. While the world around us is constantly changing, our legacy is that we can choose how we change with it. To quote a poem from Walt Whitman, "O me, O life, of these questions reoccurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, the question, what good amid these?" As he expresses his discomfort in not knowing what we can do in this ever-changing world, his last lines exhibit this idea of legacy. He writes, "Answer, that you are here, that life exists in identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse." This is what legacy is. It is now our turn to take our growth, radiate our passions, and add our verse to the song of the world around us.
Our time in the PLA has prepared us not only to be leaders here at BGSU, but also as we enter the world after graduation. We have been leaders in the classroom, in student organizations, in the community, and through community service, not only through holding titles like president, chair, or board member, but through our actions. We were told when we began this program that to whom much is given, much is expected. And we are all now ready to continue giving back, not only to the PLA and BGSU, but to the communities we will be entering after graduation. Our legacy as a cohort is one of resilience, change, and growth. And thanks to the Sidney A. Rabeau President's Leadership Academy, we will continue to make positive changes in this world, one community, one person, and one action at a time. We will now present a video that authentically describes our legacy here at BGSU.
One word to describe my legacy. My legacy at Oregon State University is courage. Zealous. Exploration. Resilience. Empowerment. Compassion. Commendable. Love. Diligence. Hurtful. Empathy. Dedication.
Yeah, that about sums it up. And we would now like to take a moment to thank some very important individuals who have helped shape us into the leaders that we are today and have supported us immensely over the past 4 years. We would not be the 2018 cohort if it were not for these people.
First, we'd like to thank our previous cohort advisors, Val Irwin and Dr. Andrea Hauser, and our current cohort advisor, Dr. Jacob Clemens.
The PLA and Marvin Center staff, Kendra Lutz, Dr. Megan Arnold, Lakeisha Dowling, Dom Gatozzi, Wang Do, Amanda Peniagua, and Alyssa Fisher.
The cohorts that came before and after us for continually giving us new perspectives and a growing family and network of support.
Our friends and family who have supported us and helped us to be where we are today.
President Rogers and Dr. Earl, who have helped this program continue to prosper and evolve.
And most importantly, we would like to thank each other as members of the 2018 cohort. We have become a family over these last 4 years, and through everything, we have always been here for each other.
At this time, we would like to ask Dr. Clemens to come to the stage to accept a gift on behalf of the 2018 cohort. On behalf of the 2018 cohort, we would now like to present the PLA with a gift to thank you for changing our lives.
A limited edition comic book cover canvas to show our growth over the years to match the present we had originally gifted to the PLA after our summer program Banquet. This is the final edition of our legacy as the 2018 cohort. Thank you.
Thank you, seniors, for sharing your learning over these past 4 years I can assure you I'm immensely proud of each and every one of you. I think your colloquium accurately captured your journey over the past 4 years and the legacy you leave behind. So congratulations, and thank you for a strong 4 years. This concludes this evening's events. On behalf of all of the PLA, we thank you for being here tonight, and we thank you for your continued support, dedication, and care to helping us build servant leaders. You'll notice on each table has a bouquet on it, and we invite you to please take them with you. Leave the glass vase, please. We reuse those. We'll need them for the summer program. But we do wish each of you safe travels home, and we look forward to seeing many of you next year. Thank you.